Hare Krishna. We continue reading from Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 1. We are reading the characteristic of pure devotional service, which is all auspicious. So it has been seen that great Mayavadi impersonalist sannyasis, very highly educated and almost realized souls, may sometimes take to political activities or to social welfare activities. The reason is that they actually do not derive any ultimate transcendental happiness in the impersonal understanding and therefore must come down to the material platform and take to such mundane affairs. There are many instances, especially in India, where these Mahavadi sannyasis descend to the material platform again, but a person who is fully in Krishna consciousness will never return to any sort of material platform, however alluring and attracting they may be. He always knows that no material welfare activities can compare to the spiritual activity of Krishna consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada is helping us understand that the happiness on the platform of the Brahman is not yet complete. And that's the reason there may be personalities who have reached the Brahman understanding, but they don't stay there for very long. They again take up to material activities, could be philanthropy, it could be other welfare activities. Why? Because they do not derive that ultimate bliss, the ultimate pleasure that the soul is looking for. And that can be found only in when we revive our relationship with Krishna, that ultimate transcendental happiness. And that's the reason the pure devotee, the one who has revived his Krishna consciousness, does not come to the material platform again because he's experiencing the highest bliss possible. And so he does not need to get any pleasure from the material platform. When we get a higher taste, we don't want the lower taste. We don't need it. When we have the real thing, we don't want the imitation. So the pure devotee, because he's experiencing such transcendental pleasure in devotional service, he does not return to the material platform. The mystic perfections achieved by actually successful yogis are 8 in number. So the yogis, they get some siddhis, ashta siddhi, 8 siddhis, anima siddhi. So what are the siddhis? There is a siddhi called anima siddhi, refers to the power by which one can become so small that he can enter into a stone. So the yogi, because he is by the dint of his yoga, he gets these powers that he can become small and he can enter into a stone. Modern scientific improvements also enable us to enter into stone because they provide for excavating so many subways, penetrating the hills, etc. So Anima Siddhi, the mystic perfection of trying to enter into stone, has also been achieved by material science. So here we are trying to understand that a yogi, he is taking great effort to get this siddhi, but this kind of siddhis can also be achieved by modern scientists. We can see that entering into stone. So Prabhupada is saying, yeah, we are also entering into stone through modern science. We are excavating, building subways, building uh, all these penetrating hills. Similarly, all of the yoga siddhis or perfections are material arts. For example, in one yoga siddhi, there is development of the power to become so light that one can float in the air or on water. That is also being performed by modern scientists. They are flying in the air, they are floating on the surface of the water, and they are traveling under the water. So the yogi, he can float in air. He makes himself so light, he can fly in the air. He can float on the water. So Prabhupada is saying even the modern scientists, they have built this technology that we can fly in the air. There are aeroplanes, there's boats to float on the water. There's also so many gadgets, so many ways to go underwater, submarines. So the yogic perfections that the yogis are getting, they're also material. They're not spiritual. And these can be even gotten by the scientists. So after comparing all these mystic yoga siddhis to materialistic perfections, we find that the materialistic scientists try for the same perfection. So actually, there's no difference between mystic perfection and materialistic perfection. A German scholar once said that the so-called yoga perfections had already been achieved by the modern scientists, and so he was not concerned with them. He intelligently went to India to learn how he could understand his eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord by means of bhakti yoga, devotional service. So modern science is also trying to get the same perfection that the mystic yogis are trying to get. So, but these are all still on the material platform. It's to do with the body is temporary. So there was a German scholar, and he could understand this. He could understand that, oh, the yoga siddhis are there, but the scientists are getting it. So what did he do? He went to India. Why? To practice bhakti yoga. So why? Because he wanted to understand his eternal relationship with God. He went to learn how he could understand his eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord by means of bhakti yoga, devotional service. This is the most important. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We have simply forgotten it. We have an eternal loving relationship with Krishna. We have simply forgotten it. We can easily revive this loving relationship with Krishna by engaging in devotional service, which begins by hearing and chanting. And then that this relationship is on the transcendental platform. It's not a material relationship. It's an eternal relationship. When we are saying eternal, means it's not material because material is not eternal. This is on the platform of the spirit soul with Krishna. So by devotional service, we can revive our eternal relationship with Krishna. Any questions or comments?
No questions. It's all like you explained very well. It's okay.
Thank you so much for listening and joining in. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.